Welcome back to my channel. It is spooky season. I thought I would do something a little bit different, a little bit more festive. If you're new here, my name's Angel Baby Kyra. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Substack, and all of that good stuff. We'll see how this video does, but I kind of just want to get into the spooky season, and we're just gonna get into this. I don't really know where to start. I was kind of inspired by Ethel Cain's video where she talks about all her paranormal experiences, so we're gonna start. I guess I'll kind of just focus on one thing at a time. But first, I'm gonna light my little pumpkin spice candle. I feel like it is pumpkin spice, but it's in this little mushroom thing, and it is so cute. I got it at Target. So we're just gonna set the mood for a little bit. Grab a little snack, grab something, and we're just gonna get into some paranormal experiences that I have experienced. I do more recently because I feel like this one really affected me like a lot. It's when me and my then boyfriend, now husband, we got our first place together, and we lived in this very big house in a duplex on the outskirts of LA. I would say more like San Gabriel Valley, East LA area. It was like a 20-minute drive from there to downtown LA, so it was pretty close to everything that we love to do. It was in a very rocky time of my life with my parents, and this was just kind of like a blessing to be able to find housing in such a quick circumstance that I was in. It was at a price that we could afford barely, but it was really strange living there. It's very eerie. It was in Rosemead, so if you're familiar with San Gabriel Valley, it's like very eerie, and it's very like, I don't know, the vibe is just so strange there. I can't really explain it. It's like always has this like haze over it. Like, it's so weird, and it's like very old. The San Gabriel mission was very close by, and like this is very old, you know. I was very excited to have like our own place. We were subletting a room for like maybe 6 months, if that, and we lived with other musicians. I was the only femme in the house, which was very uncomfortable for me. A lot of times there was someone squatting on the couch, which like was not discussed, so that was it was just like very mixed things going on, and I was just going through a lot of things as well. But this happened towards the end of our stay there. There was some weird like not paranormal things like with our roommates and stuff that was just like really weird. When it would get dark, it would get really dark, like pitch black dark, and we had these big like windows with like the bars on it, and it was so scary at night. It's just like pitch black, and this huge 2-story house with a huge living room, kitchen. There was a room on the bottom that was one roommate, and then we lived on top in the master bedroom, and our room was pretty big, had a huge bed, had a little balcony outside, and we had a big bathroom. There was a huge tub. It was very like dated 70s, like there was like still like a heat lamp, like it was like a red lamp. I guess I'll start there. One time, me and my boyfriend, I'm just gonna say husband because he's my husband now, but we were up late off a little something, if you catch my drift. It was like wearing off, you know. So we were up late. It was about 2 or 3 a.m. and we were not sleeping, but we were on the bed and we are just on our phones or whatever. There was Netflix on, and I don't know how to explain this. Our bed was like this, and then next to our bed was the restroom, and then the closet was like right here, if that makes sense. So bed, closet opening, then restroom. So we were there, right? And the red lamp, the heat lamp, was on. And I remember looking at it, the heat lamp was on, and I looked back. I was talking to my husband, saying something like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we also had a window that was like, our bed was against the window, and the red lamp turned green. Like the door was like closed, but you could like see, you know, like the light peeking through under the door, and I was kind of freaking out. I was like, why is it green? And I'm telling my husband, I'm like, do you see that it's green? And he's like, no, whatever. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I kind of brushed it off, whatever, went to sleep. When we would stay up late or whatever, we would look outside our window on our bed, and there'd be this like orb like thing, like so strange because it didn't look like super high up there like a star, but it was like in our atmosphere. Like it was crazy, and it was there like almost every night, or maybe every Wednesday night when like my husband was off, and we'd like have some fun and, you know, dance to some music. We got the strobe lights because our roommate did like staging or whatever like my husband did. This thing, we called her Lulu because I don't know why. I was like, oh, that's Lulu. I don't know why I started calling her that. And you could, like, I see it in my brain, and it sounds so crazy, I know. And I know people are like, you're probably off something. No, like, we both saw it multiple times. And if I can find a video of it, I'll put it in there. But it was so crazy because you could see like wings, like it was a fairy, like, and the energy like radiating off of it. It was the strangest thing I ever seen in my life, and we were like, that's really weird. And there's this one time I was looking out the window. It's probably 11 p.m., almost 12 a.m., and we weren't off anything this time. We still saw it. And I was like, okay, well, nothing's wrong with us. We're both seeing it at the same time. And this time, it was kind of hovering like over some houses over in this direction. And there was a helicopter like circling above it. And I was like, do they see like what we're seeing? And they kept like hovering around this like creature, fairy, star being thing. And I'm like, this is crazy. I like to think of it as like my baby before I knew I wanted to be pregnant. I don't know why, it's just like a thing that I feel like it was shown to me. And I know that sounds like psychosis or whatever. But like looking back at it, I'm like, oh, like, I don't know, like something told me like it was time for me to be a mom, and I really had it like on my heart to want to have a child. And I've never wanted children. I like thought like I wouldn't be married. I never thought or wanted to be married. I never thought or wanted to have children. Like I like children, but I never wanted children. And like meeting my husband like made me want to have children, and I guess I just found like the right person that I felt like I should have, or if I want to, I can have a child with this person. I still think about Lulu frequently. Sometimes when I drive, like there was this one time I was driving at night for whatever reason by myself, and I was going towards Rosemead, and I was coming from LA for whatever reason. I was going towards Rosemead, and I see her in the sky, like in the same, where I think would be the same place that she would be, like really, really weird. I think that was one of like, it was really like, I didn't feel like scared, more so like curious, like what is this being? The thing that scared me the most at this house was the things that I was hearing after like we had like a month left or whatever, and I was like, I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll just begin from where I remember. So I was home alone, and at this point we found out that I was pregnant. So I was going through like a lot of hormone changes, whatever. I was more moody and emotional. I also had BPD and bipolar, so that didn't help anything. So I was home alone. Husband went to work. He worked late at night. Our roommates were out of town, so we would be home alone. So I was home alone. It was pitch black, like no lights on whatsoever. It was so weird. And my husband says he leaves, and we had a lock on our door, and he locked like the door, and I said, I'm just gonna be in here like the whole rest of the night, and maybe I'll just DoorDash something to eat. He leaves, and maybe like 20 minutes later, I'm like, wait, can you like send me money so I can DoorDash, whatever. Ordering my DoorDash, and I hear footsteps go up to my door. And I'm thinking it's my husband, thinking that he forgot like something or some keys or whatever the fuck he needed, right? I remember like sitting on the bed, and the bed is facing the door. Okay, so it's like the entrance here and then like the bathroom. And then I remember like facing the door. I was getting up from bed, and I was gonna open the door for him because I was like, oh, he probably forgot something, whatever, he came back home, whatever. Something like told me that it wasn't him. Like in my mind, like logically thinking, I was like, this is my husband coming back. He forgot something. But as soon as I faced the door, I was like, I don't hear him rustling for his keys, which is something I usually hear him do when he comes to the door and rustle for keys. And mind you, this house was all wooden floor. Not the bottom floor though, it was tile or whatever, but it was very creaky. The walls were super thin and the door was super thin, so you could literally hear everything. I texted him. I said, hey, did you forget something? And he said, no, I'm at work. Did you order DoorDash ready? And I said, no, I heard some footsteps go up to the door. And I'm like, can you text our roommates and see if they're home or if they need something? And they're like, no, we're not home, whatever. So I'm freaking out. I'm telling my husband, like, no, this is really fucking weird. I don't know what's going on. Like, I heard footsteps go to the door. And I couldn't see if there was like a shadow under there because, again, pitch black, no lights are on for whatever fucking reason. I think they wanted to keep the electricity bill because we all like collectively paid electricity, so everyone tried to like make that as less as possible. So I was really scared, and then I was hearing like footsteps going down the stairs and just like rustling like downstairs. I heard the front door slam. So the front door to the house, it was like this screen door, and then there was like a little area, mud room thing, not a room, but like there's a space between the screen door and then the actual door. I heard the door slam. So I'm freaking out and I'm like, oh my god, someone's in the house, right? So I'm just like, okay, I know not survival instincts, but I go look around and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really see anything. I turn on all the lights and I look, no cars are there. Only my roommate's car that never works, so he just had it parked in there. And I'm looking everywhere to see if someone like came in, whatever. And I'm just like very disoriented. I feel very ill. I'm having so much anxiety. So I texted my dad. I said like, something weird happened and I need you to come pick me up. So my dad came and picked me up and I told him what happened, and I was just like really panicked, right? So my husband ends up picking me up from my parents' house, and this was the freakiest shit. I swear to God, like, so we come back, right? It's late at night. We come back, and remind you, this is a 2-story house, okay? And so this is our room. Then there's this middle room that's empty. That's just like empty for whatever reason. No one's rented it out yet. And then another room which our roommate was living in, right? Roommates are gone. No one's in the house. Lights are always off. Tell me why. We came up to the driveway. We have to go back because there's a front house and our house is in the back because it's a duplex. So we go drive up, and tell me why the light was on to the middle room. The light was on to the middle room. Okay, to the middle room. Why was it on? Why was it on? Okay, so we're like, okay, that's really fucking weird. We're like, I don't like that. And I was telling my husband, it's really weird in here. I don't know what's going on. It is weird, okay? So I was like, I don't like this, okay? And whatever. That room was never used. No one ever went in there. There was no reason to go in there. It was completely empty. Maybe a printer, maybe some shit they didn't want to like look at, whatever. Never used, right? And I had to walk past the room to go downstairs and like check everything out, right? I would have seen under if that light was on. You know, I had to like open the door, go across the hall to turn on the light switch. So it would have been dark for a while and I would have to pass this lit room to get to the light switch, okay? So I'm like, I don't like this, right? Okay, hold on. Rewind a little bit. So you're probably wondering, did this all start? Like, was there any signs? It wasn't really prevalent until the end, like, of our stay, which was really, really weird. In the beginning, there was one thing that happened that was kind of weird. Again, my dad made sure to install like a lock on the door because, again, I was living with all guys, so we don't know who's like coming in, whatever, and just like safety reasons and just like protecting our stuff because like we just kept everything, pretty much all our money and stuff, whatever was in the room. Me and my husband, we went out and went to go eat or something, right? And we came back later, like in the evening, came back and there's this like the girl who was subletting the room, she like left some of her stuff there and she like moved some of it out before like when we were like moving in there. She like left some of her stuff because she was gonna come back in like 6 months anyway. So there was this like painting thing. It was either ours, I'm pretty sure it was ours, and we put it up. But tell me why. Okay, so there's the TV, right? And then there's like sometimes like a little corner in between the TV and the wall. So we were like hung up the painting, right? So if it were to like fall off for whatever reason, which happens sometimes because I don't put things on, I only put it on with like command strips, so sometimes it's too heavy. But this was like a painting or whatever. I think it was this one actually. But it was up on there. So if it were to fall, it would just fall in that, like straight down into like the little crevice area, which was like a triangle, and it was enough for it to go down. Tell me why the painting was like leaned against the TV, in front of the TV. Is that not weird? Tell me, is that not weird? That's weird, right? I can't be the only one that thinks that it's weird. It's weird. So I was like, did someone come in our room and like put, I don't know what the reason would be, but like it was really weird. So it was that was the only strange thing that happened like in the beginning. But everything started picking up like towards the end when we were going to leave. And the person we were subletting from, she told us she wouldn't be back till like the sublease was over, but then she ended up coming back early, which was weird, and she didn't let us know. All of a sudden she was like in the kitchen and we're like, oh, like you're back already, like, and it just kind of felt like we were being rushed to like get out. I don't know. Anyways, so the next thing in between the painting and the weird noises I was hearing, it was somewhere in this, but after the painting part, my husband comes home late at like 3 a.m. when he goes to work. So he comes home like 3 a.m. He climbs into bed with me, whatever. The next morning, he turns over to me. It's like maybe like 9 a.m. He turns over to me. He's like, I heard chanting last night. And I was like, what? What do you mean you heard chanting? And he said, I don't know what it was, but there's some inaudible, like, didn't know like what, like it wasn't words. It was just like some sort of chanting, like just saying the same thing over and over and over again. And I was like, that's really weird. You should have woke me up when that happened. Like, what? Like, why would you just let us like sleep through that? Like, I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, well, if that kind of thing happened, like, let me know. Ugh. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna turn the light on because the lighting's getting bad. Did that do anything? Not really. Okay, he tells me he hears these chanting things, and I'm like, okay, that's really fucking weird. And he's like, maybe they're just like coked out, whatever, or like, people are weird when they're on coke, and we knew that our roommates did do that. We did not partake at all because that shit scares me. Have you guys seen Requiem for a Dream? I don't know, that's the thing that they were using, but no, it's a no for me, okay? And plus, this wasn't when I was pregnant yet, obviously, but I would get pregnant like the last month, half a month that we were there. So I was like, okay, that's really weird. Don't like that. So after that happened, then I started hearing the footsteps come to the room. Did all of that, right? That all happened. And after that happened, like weird shit was like, I don't even, like, really, really, really weird. Like when my husband would leave to work and my roommates, they weren't coming back for like a while. And if they did, it was just like in and out real quick, whatever. They're like doing whatever, I don't know, touring, whatever they do. It wasn't like they're home ever. When my husband would go to work, I was just like really scared, and he went to work and I'm just in our room, whatever. I'm trying to relax, whatever. I'm in the shower and I hear, Kyra. And I'm like, no. No, 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 no. No. And then I'm like, fuck. Right? And so I'm in the shower and I'm just like, please, like, I'm fucking scared. So I'm trying to hurry up. I finish whatever. And I'm still in the bathroom. Then I hear something downstairs. And I'm like, dude, this is not okay. Like, what the fuck? And I realized, like, in the bathroom, there was, like, this kind of, like, shrine thing. And, like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of shrines because my family's Filipino and also Asian. So, just, like, I know shrines when I see one. This one had the see no evil monkey. And there was a bunch of incense and then, like, some, like, I don't know what it was, like, foreign money around it, and it just gave me the most like eeriest feeling. I just didn't like it, and it was the see no evil one, I think. And I was like, damn, I really don't want to see no evil. Like, I'm not trying to do that, you know? And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna try to ignore it, don't acknowledge it, whatever. I get dressed, whatever, close the door to the closet, and I hear tapping. So I'm like, fuck this shit. I call my dad again. I say, hey, can you come, like, pick me up, because weird stuff is still happening. And so my dad picks me up. He's like, okay, well, every time Zach goes to work, he can just drop you off at the house before he goes to work, because his work was near my parents' house. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And I was telling my dad, I was like, it's so heavy now. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it was just this heaviness. And my dad's like, well, there's a lot of like spiritual things like in the house, like that shrine, and we also had tarot cards, and like it was just a lot of like spiritual stuff. There's a lot of crystals, there's a lot of like incense, like a lot of like stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know what it is, I don't know what changed. Like, it was very, very heavy energy, and then in between that we would see Lulu, and I'm just like, well, this is like it was too much energy for us, like really crazy. So I was like, I want to leave already. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to stay. And it's like, did you like place like not a curse, but like something to like make us leave, like wanting us to leave faster? Like, I don't know what it was, and it was very strange. But then she ended up texting my husband being like, oh, do you guys want to extend the lease? And we're like, fuck no. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, the person that I mentioned in the beginning that was squatting on her couch, she was also very into like, I think like spiritual stuff too. And I don't think there's anything wrong with like spirituality, because I'm still a very like spiritual person, but that shit fucked me up because I never had anything that explicitly like paranormal happen to me. I've never had like something whisper like my name like that. Like, it was crazy. I did not enjoy that at all, and I was so relieved when we moved, because not only my roommates were like weird, and it turns out like I found out that the person that was giving me like a hard time because he said we didn't do shit, or like we didn't clean. I was like, I'm the only one that cleans in this house. He had some like allegations between like a minor, and I just felt very uncomfortable. Like, okay, I was just living with someone who had like essay allegations, I think it was, against like a minor, and he was like a drummer for like this very, I guess, kind of very popular like alternative band. I shall not name because of legal reasons, in case they try to like sue me, even if this video gets like 50 views. So I was like, ew, like I don't like that at all. I didn't know like he was like a weirdo, and then I'm just like, he scrubbed basically everything off of like the internet. I could only find like this Reddit page of him, and it was this big like, did you guys hear that? It just sounded like something like fell on the floor. Okay, anyways. Okay, well, yeah, that's basically what happened. There was a lot of things in between that. Oh, the last thing I will say, though, that was really freaky was that, okay, so I was telling my husband, like, this is weird. we need to like do something, right? Okay, so we have like a bunch of microphones because we're musicians, we're music artists. So I pull out my computer, told my husband, it's probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. We started recording on Bandlab. We started asking questions. And if I can find a recording, I have no idea where it's at. If I can find a recording, I'll put it in. But we were just asking questions. Is there anyone here? Is there anyone that wants to speak to us? And you know that thing like in the Appalachian Mountains, like how they say like everything got quiet, like very unnaturally quiet. That's what happened. Like usually you could hear like the bugs like very loud. You can hear like cats fighting, like some really stupid shit. Like you would hear like the cars passing by because we were kind of near the freeway. You would hear like the cars passing by. There'd be some helicopters, you know, some stuff like that, whatever, like normal like bustling stuff. You'd hear like the neighbors watering something or like, you know, normal shit. Tell me why when we started asking questions, it went dead, like completely silent. And we were like freaked out because we were like, what the fuck? Is it always this quiet? And then after that, it got super, super loud. Like all of a sudden just came like rushing back in and like super loud. Like it was crazy. Like it got like so quiet, and then just burst of like cars, and then just like crickets, and then like everything was amplified like times 10. I was like, no, this is not good. This is whatever this is that is going on in this house is not good. And I was convinced that something was placed on us, something was there. And I just felt like maybe I was more sensitive towards the end because I was pregnant. And I don't know where I heard this from, but I heard it from someone that when you're pregnant, you're more like sensitive to these kinds of things. And I truly believe that because I was like, no, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So we left, and nothing really weird has happened since. We got our own apartment now, and in between that, we were staying at my parents', and then we were staying at my husband's parents' as we waited for my baby to come and I gave birth. And now we have our own apartment. But that shit will always haunt me because it was so scary, and I felt like it was intentional. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I felt like I was intentionally targeted. And I know that sounds like serious delusionalness and being like main character moment, but like I really felt like it was intentional, like towards me. Like something in my like my being was like, this is like trying to attack you for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I think I'm gonna end it here so I can save some for the rest of October. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. We can talk about conspiracy theories, we talk about aliens. Like I want October to be fun, and I want these videos to be more fun. Sorry if this like light's like glaring like a lot, but yeah, I'm excited for October. I love Halloween. I'm ready for spooky season. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.